This might just be one of the most important videos that you watch on this channel. We're going to be getting into one of the most important and what I would argue a must-have descendant on every single player's account. And that descendant is going to be Enzo. The reason why we are talking about Enzo in this video is because not only is Enzo going to be helping you with analyzing something that, one, he's the only character that can do at the proficiency that he can do it at. Two, he's going to give you the opportunity to get insane Cooper drops, which you do need to be able to level your modules and just being able to help you power boost up your gear, right? But he's also going to be allowing you to farm a resource that he's the only one that can craft it. So this is something that is just, again, super game changing. We've been farming a lot of the game completely wrong, and this is definitely going to make your progression much smoother. So what exactly am I talking about? We're just going to dive right into it, and we're going to be going into different sections so that you guys can actually learn how to do this on your own. But the first thing we're going to be taking a look at on Enzo is his Fire Supporter passive, okay? Now, the Fire Supporter passive skill description grants fire support to allies within an area around self, and fire support effect enhances when the same descendant is present within the party or squad. Efficiency increases when Enzo disarms the security of encrypted vaults, and the reward increases when this happens. So, two things here. What exactly is an encrypted vault? And what is the benefit that he gets for unlocking encrypted vaults, right? So encrypted vaults, also known as encrypted storage boxes, that's two different names that you'll have for them. It gives you a time limit increase, a speed reduction, because these are like it's like a little puzzle attached to these that you have to do. A count deduction, so at least one non-deductible, which makes it easier, or the amount of times you have to hit that target mark, you get it reduced. The angle reduction, which makes the target zone much bigger. And then on top of that, time deduction on failure, which means if you miss the target zone, it does not make you fail fast, right? Like you have a few opportunities to mess up. So he just makes it very, very, very easy. Like it's super stupid easy, in fact, right? Now, the thing is that I want to talk about a couple of different things before we actually go and look at an encrypted vault, okay? Now, the thing is that we're back here in the access info. This is where, again, like I mentioned in the last video, this is where you're going to live. This is where you're going to be targeting items. In the next segment or section we're going to be looking at is the enhancement material. I would argue that these two resources, the crystallization catalyst and the energy activators, are the two most important things that you are going to need in this entire game. One of them is going to be helping you with basically resetting or prestiging your characters, if you want to call it that. And then the other one is going to be helping you increase your max capacity, which is going to be directly affecting your overall DPS and how effective your descendants are going to be able to be in terms of increasing their HP or defense or shield or whatever it is you're trying to get them to do. Now, here's the thing. If we take a look here at the energy activator requires a couple of different resources. You have the low carbon activator, you have the conductive metallic foil, you have the heat plasma battery, you have the polyatomic ion particle, and then lastly, you have that energy activator blueprint, right? Now, there's something that people probably just have completely missed on these. If we go under to acquisition info and we look at the acquisition info, it'll say Vesper Hard encrypted storage box, Vesper normal encrypted storage box, and then it says Enzo Descendant required. Now, why exactly would it say that? Okay, now here's the thing. The precision encrypted vaults, the ultra precise encrypted vaults, these storage boxes, these are all relevant to the mode that you are looking at. These are all the same thing, essentially. Like they're just these vaults that you can find and you unlock. It will drop this resource. This is the only place that you can get this resource from. And guess who is a required unit to be able to make it happen? Enzo, right? Now, the thing is that not only are you going to be getting this required drop to make something that is literally required to make your guns and your characters stronger, but you're also going to be getting an insane amount of Cooper doing so. So here's the thing, right? Hard mode, and this is another reason why unlocking hard mode is so important. You're going to gain access to being able to find the hard variants of the precision encrypted vaults. The ultra precise ones give you 70K. So the ultra precise ones are going to be giving you the higher amounts of Cooper, 70K to 80K, somewhere around there. Precise give you about 26K, and this is all in hard mode. 22 or 20K to 26K. And then the normal ones, they actually don't give you any Cooper, but they do give you still the higher drop of the resource. And the thing is that even in normal mode, the Cooper will significantly decrease, but you still will get really solid drops for this resource. So I farmed 75 of these yesterday, right? Like that's a crazy amount. But when you're talking about your entire party having these, it is a lot that you can get, right? Now, the thing is with this, okay? We actually go back, and I want to kind of, again, reiterate killing more than one bird with one stone, right? So killing two birds with one stone, right? So when we are looking at a place that you can actually take advantage of farming, that's going to not only give you the drops necessary for you to be able to use the vaults, but also is going to be allowing you to farm up Cooper and also reactors and modules and all of that jazz. The place I would recommend going is here in the Rockfall, in the Sterlands, Rockfall outpost, and then to the anticipated ambush point. This is a amazing, really quick, very fast farm point, and you're going to have the opportunity to have the resource that you'll use to go and analyze at the vaults drop here. Now, real quick, before we actually show that, I want to also show you guys the resource that you're going to be using to analyze, right? So we go under to consumables, okay? Sorry, I know that this video is a little bit more jam-packed, but you guys have to get this down, okay? We go to miscellaneous, and we look at these ball things here. What are these? So you have your analyzers, okay? Analyzers are for your normal difficulty encrypted vaults. So you have your ultra precision code analyzer, your code analyzer, and your precision code analyzer, right? Now, vice versa for hard mode, you have breakers, right? So code breakers are for encrypted vaults in hard difficulty, okay? So with that, you will have ultra precision code breakers, and you'll also have precision code breakers, and then it will say normal difficulty. Sorry, I don't have any. I used them, and I'll show you guys where my Cooper is right now. So yesterday, when I got on the game, I started the game out with probably 50K Cooper. By time I farmed, and I farmed this game for probably like 4 or 5 hours, nothing too crazy, and all of it wasn't even like doing Cooper. I have almost 1 million Cooper, and the thing is that I also still haven't disassembled the modules, and I'll show you guys that as well. Now, one last thing before we actually get into the vaults, I wanted to just, again, further emphasize the importance of Enzo, because some people will say, well, oh, if he's only for that, then I can wait. Well, here's the thing, right? Not only is he for the activators, but he's also going to be required for the catalysts, right? So if we take a look here at the mixed energy residue, the reason why I have this resource is because I actually was doing some in this specific area that he is able to get the drop to drop, right? And so this was the Agna Desert. This was another place that we were actually looking for this resource, and we were just kind of doing vaults just to get the Cooper, but make it, keep in mind that the Cooper and the rarities and what is associated to what is going to be the same, right? But the main thing that you have to be aware of when you're actually doing these vaults is that whichever vault in whatever place you're doing, you need to also be thinking about the resource drop that you want as well. So it's not going to be in every single place you go. It's just going to be the metallic foil. No, it is going to be according to the specific area. The Cooper is going to be the Cooper according to the rarity. So if it's ultra precision or normal, and then of course, if it's a breaker versus if it's a analyzer. So that's going to be essentially the main thing that I want you guys to take away from this. Again, you can try to do this on your own. You'll have to do these anyway if you want to try to get a chance at getting Enzo's, like I said, his mod. But what you will be completely missing out on is this drop, right? Which you literally need to be able to craft the crystallization and the energy activator. So again, just further emphasizing that. But let's move on to the bolts. Now let's shift over to finding and looking at the volts, right? The volts, obviously, when you're finding them or trying to like navigate a map to look for them, you're going to be using your scanner. So that should be the tab button if you're on PC. If you're on controller, it will be your right analog stick. Now the thing is that what you want to do is you want to stand in one singular spot and just kind of turn in different directions to see if you can scan it. Now, if you're facing the wrong direction, you won't actually hear anything, right? Like you don't really get to hear too much of a ping. But as soon as you face the right direction, you hear how the ping changes, right? And so the ping will change according to if you're close or if you're facing the right direction. And it's a more higher frequency ping if you are in the right vicinity. Now, I actually already have went and found one. This is actually the higher rarity one. Now, this is a fairly dark area, but you can usually tell because of one, the color, it's like gold and purple. But then also two, the horns, like the visual of it, you can tell a normal from a precision to an ultra. This is an ultra precision code breaker. I'm so mad I found this, but I don't have any ultra precision code breakers. So again, like I mentioned before, I'll kind of describe the way that it works and show you some of the footage that we got during the live stream. Basically, when you are encrypting or opening one of these with using Enzo, you're basically going to be hitting either right or left clicking with your mouse or right clicking with it, or hitting LT or RT if you're on your controller. The thing is that it's basically going to be a circle, and within that circle there's going to be a dial that will be spinning, and it will be going over a zone that you need to click on. Now, when you're using Enzo, the zone is massive, but when you're using any other character, it is literally a slither and it is extremely hard to hit. Now, the other thing is that when you are utilizing this function, Enzo also, like I mentioned, gives you the chance to get bonus drops. Not only are you going to have the opportunity, like for example on ultra precision code breakers, you also have the opportunity to get the Transcendants, which is the modules for Enzo specifically. That's another thing. His specific modules for him will drop from these only, right? So you need to do these anyway if you want to build Enzo, like say further build him, because they drop from here. Now, the thing about that as well is, like I said, you get increased drops, and then like with the ultra precision code breaker, you're going to get anywhere from 70 to 80k potentially on the Cooper drop every single one that you do. Now, the way that the rotation basically works is that in any area, on average, we were finding about 2 of these. So we would find maybe a normal precision, or a precision and an ultra, or a normal and an ultra. Like it just kind of all varied. But then what you would go and do is whoever is party lead would just reset. So take you guys to a whole nother area, and you don't have to go back to Albion and do all that extra crap. Literally, we were traversing from Lumberyard, and we would go over here, over to the Law Supply Depot, and we would like teleport between there and the Law Supply Depot Tactical Transporter, and we would actually find, we would spread out, and we would find the 2 locations for the vaults, right? And now when we would do that, we would then go to, okay, who found the higher rarity one? We would target that person, go over there to them, and we would go back and unlock the other one afterwards, right? So that's how we basically did it, and you don't have to go back and forth between here and Albion. You literally just need to change instance, and then when we were done with this place, we couldn't find any more. We would just teleport back to Lumberyard, redo the process, rinse and repeat until we ran out of these breakers. Now, again, guys, this is literally an insane thing. Like I mentioned before, I'm actually going to take a trip back to Albion because I haven't actually taken a look yet at how much currency, and I want to show you guys how to actually do this process as well within this video, because it's all about gaining more Cooper. Like I said, I gave you guys extremely well, like in the Sterling Lands, that mission specifically for farming Cooper is amazing, right? Like it's absolutely insane, and it's the modules, but it's also the precision breakers. This is why you need Enzo, right? So if we actually go back to the landing zone in Albion, we're actually going to head over to the module right now. The thing is that with that, I'm just going to show you guys real quick, and I'm going to probably have a separate video like further explaining this process, just so that I can get a little bit more in depth and it not just be so much jammed into this one video. But if I go over to my enhanced modules and I go to dismantle modules and I select duplicate modules, I have an additional 108k Cooper shards that I'll be able to gain from dismantling these. So let's go ahead and let's dismantle these, right? And there we go. I'm at 1,000,000 Cooper, right? So this was just from a very short farm yesterday. We did not farm a crazy long amount of time. I really wasn't like, I don't put like insane amounts of hours in this game like some players do. It's just about like, making things more efficient. And this is going to definitely make things a lot easier for those of you guys that are, on a time constraint. You work a 9 to 5. You might not have all day to play. You might have a few hours, a couple hours, right? So the thing that I want you guys to take from this video is that, again, if you are going to go and do anything, if you're farming for any character, I get it. You want to farm the character that you absolutely like, but I promise you, Enzo long-term is going to increase your resources by so much and giving you the opportunity to make your account so much stronger. It's going to be worthwhile, right? Farming Enzo is going to be one of the things that I just say everybody needs to do. If you have not, guys, again, start that pathway. If you go under the access info and you go to Descendants, start farming for Enzo, okay? Start getting his pieces, guys. Like, right? It's right all here. You can track it. Start doing his stuff. I promise you, it is going to literally be one of the best decisions that you've ever made. And again, like I said, I started off my farm yesterday with like 50K, and by time I finished, I started streaming like super late. Like I probably farmed from like 7 to 11, right? Like somewhere around there. I went from 50K Cooper to about 1,000,000, and we were chilling, talking the entire time. So we're just having a blast. So again, very, very important, guys. Get this character. I promise you, it is going to be the best decision you have made on your entire account.